They missed God. They missed Jesus. Anna fasted and prayed out of a heart for God, out of true devotion for God. And as a result, her heart was sensitized. She was tuned. When Jesus appeared, she recognized him and received him. What did the Pharisees do when Jesus appeared? They resisted him and rejected him. They didn't have eyes to see. And Jesus exposed their true hearts. On the surface, they would have all looked spiritual. They all fasted, they all prayed. On the surface of things, they all looked godly. But when Jesus came, their true hearts were exposed in the way they responded to him. So fasting and prayer for Anna was not formality. It was not just a religious ritual. It was not legalistic. It was not performance on her part. Her motive was that she was longing for Christ. In Luke chapter 5, some people came to Jesus and they said, the disciples of the Pharisees fast. Why don't your disciples fast? And Jesus said to them, can you make wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? Who's the bridegroom? Jesus. Jesus is saying the bridegroom has arrived. It's time to party. It's time to celebrate. Then he says the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast in those days. Why did Anna fast? Because she was longing for the appearance of the bridegroom. She was longing for Christ to show up. She was desperate, and her desperation made her a true intercessor. And here's the woman who served the Lord with fasting and prayer night and day, Luke 2 tells us. As I studied that, I wondered if maybe she was at an age where she was having a hard time sleeping at night. It doesn't say that, I don't know, but you know, it's been a blessing to me over the years to hear of some older people who can't sleep well at night and who use those hours instead of fretting and tossing and turning, use that time to pray. Here's a woman who prayed, not just at set times, but as a way of life. A woman who lived a life of self-denial, a life of sacrifice. A woman who lived with eternity in view. Now, I'm not saying, I want to be careful to make this clear, that every Christian woman should live the kind of lifestyle precisely that Anna did. As in, you're in the church, every time the church doors are open, you spend all your time fasting and praying night and day. That's all you do. As we've said, there are different seasons of life, and we worship God and serve him in different ways in those different seasons of life. But I will say this, every Christian woman should have this kind of heart. A heart that is God-centered. A heart that is God-focused. A heart that is serving God, whether you're in the kitchen or you're in the temple. Whether you're in your van carting kids back and forth to school, or taking kids to piano lessons, or giving piano lessons, or whatever you're doing, going to your kids' sporting events, whatever season of life, loving your kids, loving your husband, doing the things God has called you to do you do it out of a Christ-centered heart with eternity in view? A woman whose heart is fixed on God. I have to tell you that as I've been studying the life of Anna, and I'm going to embarrass Miss Dorothy here by saying this, but Dorothy, you have come to my mind so many times while I've been studying this passage. And I don't know that I know any living woman personally who epitomizes this woman to me as much as you do. And if you don't have the privilege of having known Miss Dorothy, you should. She's in her 80s, and by today's standards, that's considered an older woman.